What is going on, everyone? The official GameZone podcast, episode number 5. I'm Cade.
Number 4.
Onder. Oh,
so close, so close.
Let's just keep going. Episode number 4. I am editor-in-chief of GameZone.com, Cade Onder. I am joined by Mike Splechta.
Hello.
And we have a new guest, Matt. Matt, how do you say your last name?
Liebel. Yeah,
Matt.
not libel.
And that's how I always thought it was.
Yeah, that's all right. You can call me that.
Okay. Matt and Mike, they both have been contributors to games. I mean,
we're basically at a round table of ex and current GameZone.
Yeah.
So.
I do still write, though. Not for GameZone, but for another website. So
you can go ahead and plug that website. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I actually write for App Trigger. Yeah, I kind of help run that website now with another guy. And it's fun. I'm still very much connected to the industry.
So that's Matt and Mike. Mike sometimes does reviews. And Matt, I haven't seen your name on the website for a while.
Not for GameZone, no.
Yeah.
I actually don't even know my login anymore. I think it got wiped when you guys moved to WordPress. I think they just erased all my stuff.
All right. So there's that. That's the history of GameZone. We'll see you guys next week. So we got some news.
Stay a while and listen.
So what do you guys want to start with? Disney, EA, or Xbox?
So I actually paid attention to both EA and Disney, so I'm cool with that.
Mike, you got
let's start with those. Yeah, let's start with EA.
Okay. So I think probably the biggest thing, there's a bit of crossover between the Disney and EA news. So I'll start with basically both. So EA, obviously the exclusive publisher of Star Wars games, minus the Lego stuff. Disney is reportedly happy with how EA has been handling Star Wars, which is interesting because many were like, there's no way that they're ever going to stay with EA after their deal expires in the mid 2020s.
Sort of. I actually listened to the earnings call, so
okay.
I'm very much in tune with what they were saying. He was asked, specifically Bob Iger was asked,
CEO of Disney.
Yeah, CEO of Disney, whether Disney would ever get into self-publishing their games again, which they failed at before, multiple times. Split
second, all that.
Yeah. So he was asked if they would get into self-publishing, and basically what he says was that they're good at making movies, they're good at making TV shows, they're good at doing all this other stuff, but they're not good at making video games, or they're not good at self-publishing. So because of that, they're going to stick with licensing out their IPs or their franchises. So like he wasn't exactly like praising EA specifically,
sure.
You know, like I still think that there's a chance that could end.
And I was going to say, because, going by their only 2 games that EA has produced since they own those rights is both Battlefront games, and I would say neither of them were really that well critically received, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the first one was bad because it lacked content, and you had to, basically buy the game twice in order to have like the season pass content or whatever to experience the full game. And then, the second game was the whole loot box fiasco. So that's it is interesting that they would say that. Well, I don't know. I guess they didn't say that they're happy, but I guess they're continuing to.
He specifically said we've had good relationships with some of those we're licensing to, notably EA and the relationship on the Star Wars properties. But like, he's not going to come out and say on an earnings call, "Yeah, EA sucks." Like,
yeah, true.
Of course, he's not going to say that. And at the bottom line, they care about their money, and they're making money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're making lots.
Do we know sales figures for either of those games? They must have been fine.
I don't know.
I would have to go back to like last year. I don't think Battlefront 2 sold poorly, but I don't think it sold like maybe as much as everyone would have expected with The Last Jedi coming out and all that. Um, Again, I'd have to go look. And that'd probably take too long to actually find right now. I really got to get better at preparing my stuff.
I mean, let's be honest. It's not like Disney's doing like blowing people away with their movies either. All right, like
they were boasting about The Last Jedi though for a lot of the earnings call, from what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it did well commercially, but it's also responsible for what people say is the reason Solo bombed. So
it's definitely,
and it's why they're not pumping out new Star Wars stuff every year.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what Episode 9 looks like financially. If there's a bit of a decline from, obviously it probably won't be as bad as Solo, but if there'll be a bit of a decline from The Last Jedi, so that'll be interesting because I think there's no way it's going to be like the second best of the new trilogy. I think it's either going to be the best of the box office or the lowest of the box office. Yeah. I just think because either people are going to be like, this is the best one yet, or it's just another disappointment.
Were either of you, I know Mike wasn't a fan of The Last Jedi, but were you?
I remember my review was positive. I wrote a review for it, and I was like, I like it. I think there's a lot of problems with it, and that doesn't come from like it not being true to characters or stuff. I don't really think that's a complaint I had. It was like inconsistency with characters like Snoke. You know how like they're building him up, and then boom, just done. Like, and he has like 5 minutes of screen time maybe in the entire movie, and he's dead, and you're like, what the hell was that? So I don't know. I'm still really confused on how I feel about that movie. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing that I don't know. Because like sometimes I see a Marvel movie and I'm like, I like that, and then I never think about it ever again. But with The Last Jedi, I'm like, think about it every once or twice a month maybe, and I'm like, did I like that movie? I don't know. I don't know. I remember sitting in the movie theater, and I'm like a big blackout person. I just don't think about trailers. I try to avoid them as much as possible. And
smart.
So when I saw The Last Jedi, I was going in pretty blind aside from that first trailer. And I remember seeing all this crazy stuff. Yoda showed up, and that wasn't in the trailers or anything. But I do remember that got spoiled like a few days before it came out by the news, because someone was interviewing John Boyega, and they just said it on the air, and they were like, and he was like, what the fuck? And so I remember being very surprised, but surprise doesn't equate to quality. This is a very long-winded way of saying I don't know how I feel about that movie, and it's been over a year.
Okay.
But yeah, so like you said, Disney is they're obviously making a lot of money. But,
I wouldn't say Disney's happy with EA. I would say they're content. They're happy not publishing their own games, and they're content with the current setup they have. That doesn't mean that EA's safe by any means.
And when does it expire? You said 2020?
I think like 2022 or something like that.
Oh,
maybe a little later. I think it's before 2025. I will look, but
10-year deal.
Mike, 10-year deal. So
2013.
So 2023.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Maybe we'll get a good mobile game, because
they talked a little bit about it. I heard there was a little bit of an update today on the Jedi Fallen Order Respawn Star Wars game. So, and I heard that's single player, it's third person, and it's set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, as you're playing as a Jedi who is in hiding. And that sounds quality. That sounds really cool. And, it's going to probably squash some concerns, if it's good, about EA not being totally open to single-player experiences. Granted, they've, canceled a few single-player Star Wars games, but maybe this is the one that's good. I hope to God that when that game comes out, it's not like 8 hours long, because I think people really want like a quality single-player Star Wars game. And usually, like, I'm over the years, as I've gotten older and I have like more things to do and more games to play, I'm like, I just kind of want shorter games, but like
I'm
I
cool if you
haven't
tell
played
me.
yeah, I haven't played a really long Star Wars game, like a really good, lengthy, meaty Star Wars game, and oh my God, I was probably in elementary school.
I think
Um,
20 to 30 hours is the sweet spot.
yeah, yeah. Um, so hopefully that game has some meat on its bones and it isn't just in and out. Um, but we'll see. I'm sure. I'm hoping Star Wars Celebration is in April, I think, and I'm hoping we'll see the first trailer there. I think that's when they showed the first trailer for Battlefront 2. So
Huh.
I'm hoping we see something there. If not, definitely E3 because it's coming out this year.
That's right. It is
Um,
this year. Yeah.
so we'll see. I'm anxious for that game. That's really all there is to say about the Disney side of things. Still on EA, Battlefield 5 apparently didn't meet expectations. EA apparently, as a whole, in the last quarter, didn't meet. They underperformed.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and like stock dropped 10%.
No. Okay. Yes, it's down 17.52% right now.
Okay, that's not good. I'm no analyst or anything, but I feel like that's not good.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to push stuff that people are obviously
Yeah,
telling you they don't want, and you don't listen to your fans. And I don't know. I have some hot takes on this, but I don't want
sure.
to upset anyone on my first day here.
No, I mean, feel free to say what you got to
Here's
say.
the thing. All right, here's the thing. When that first reveal event happened, and I'm not saying this applies to me, I don't care. Everybody made a big deal about like
Battlefield.
the characters they chose to emphasize, like white straight dude is out now. That's
Sure.
not exciting anymore. They're trying to appeal to a different audience. So where's that audience when it comes to the sales? Why is that audience
Diversity.
not? Yeah, I mean, I'm totally for diversity, and I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah.
for them saying, okay, we're gonna include women, we're gonna include people of color, we're gonna include minorities, all this stuff. But I think there's a certain point where those people need to step up and then say, oh, thanks for including us in this game, we're gonna buy it.
Definitely. If the whole reason they talk about diversity in games is because people want to see themselves represented.
Mhm.
And obviously we shouldn't be like, well, if a minority group didn't buy it, it's because they are not happy with like they feel like entitled or something like that. It's probably like, well, maybe Battlefield doesn't apply to them or appeal to them, I mean.
Yeah.
So, in Battlefield 5, I got some hot takes on that game. I know some people really like that game. I think it's the worst Battlefield in years.
So you think it has more to do with quality of the gameplay versus
Probably.
white people not buying it because they feel.
Probably.
I think that's probably the safer bet.
Yeah. EA attributed it to a few reasons. They said the release timing, delaying it into November wasn't a good idea to them apparently, but I'm also kind of like that probably helped you to an extent because it was originally slated for October. I think it was middle of October, and obviously that was between Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption, and before Fallout. Which that didn't sell well anyways, I don't think. But
Yeah.
I think I need to check the NPD, but NPD had it to where I think for the total 2018 sales, Battlefield 5 didn't even chart top 10, which is not good.
That's crazy to me, considering that's like their first person shooter.
Yeah.
So why didn't people buy it? I mean,
was the marketing not there? Also, I feel like I
No,
completely missed that game even came out when it did.
No, I think you're right with marketing too. It just didn't. It wasn't marketed very well, and it was in a very competitive time.
Maybe the hype wasn't there because also they were like, Battle Royale was and is still pretty much the hot topic right now, and they were like, well, we're not going to launch with that. We're going to have that next year. Could that maybe have also made some people like reconsider?
They also, kind of attribute it to that as well. EA, they said, basically they thought that they might have focused too much on the single player over the Battle Royale, which is a really interesting thing to say considering
in terms of the reveal
player,
or the development.
Development. Because one, that game is really short. Which is fine. I don't expect a Battlefield campaign to be 20 or 30 hours long, but it also didn't blow anyone away, especially in comparison to Battlefield 1, which I also didn't really set the world on fire, but it was new. People really liked the idea of it. People latched onto it because it was those little vignettes, and it was World War One. It was different, and it was a little darker in tone. That intro mission in Battlefield 1 where you're jumping back and forth between various quote unquote characters, and you see them die, and then it has their birthday and then their death date. And it was
Yes.
really intense, and it was really interesting. Battlefield 5, I didn't finish it because it didn't do anything interesting. I remember the first mission that I played. I think you might be able to play them out of order, but the first mission I played, you go to like an air hangar and you just start blowing up planes with like satchel charges. And I was like, this is generic as hell. I mean, like, talk about, that mission where you're in Modern Warfare 2 in the snow, and you go into that airbase hangar at the beginning of the game with soap, and I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but
I vaguely remember. You end up on a snow ski thing, right? Yeah, snowmobile. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I played that in 2009.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it wasn't doing anything interesting, and it was World War II. They didn't have a Normandy mission, which, I mean, also maybe not the worst thing ever, because Call of Duty World War II did that the year before, but it just wasn't doing anything interesting. So like the campaign wasn't there, yet they're chalking that up to being a reason. Instead of prioritizing that over Battle Royale, all the campaign missions weren't even available at launch. They released them later.
Then what was that development time going into then?
I have no idea. I mean, like,
nuts.
The game was just a bit of a mess.
And even from like other content point of view, it had like less guns, right?
Yeah,
less maps, like way less of everything than like Battlefield 4 had.
Yeah, and there was just a lot of issues. And then initially, people were kind of satisfied with how the game played. And then some people weren't happy, so they updated it completely, like changed like time to kill and stuff. I think we talked about that on our first episode. And then that got everyone upset. Like, nothing about this game has had good press. So you just listen to what all these YouTubers and press and fans are saying, and people aren't going to go buy your game. Especially when you have a critically acclaimed game like Red Dead Redemption 2 out at the same time.
Do you think Patrick Soderlund, I think that's how you say his name, right? When he said either accept it or don't buy the game, do you think he regrets saying that?
I would be very interested to have someone interview him and ask him about this game come E3 or something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe they'll be a little more open to talking about it.
I think you're right. I think it definitely has more to do with it just being, an incomplete, disappointing game than that initial reveal event, which, man, that reveal event was bad when they first.
It was horrible. It was so boring.
Yeah, and I think that just overall set the tone for an overall disappointing game.
Yeah, I remember seeing that reveal, and I was kind of like, this is really boring. They got what's his name, Trevor Noah from The Daily Show.
Yes, that's right.
I was like, why is he hosting this?
I don't know why they do that.
He's a big he's a big Battlefield fan, don't you know, Cade?
Why didn't he buy the game?
Hot on the scene.
Why didn't he buy a copy for all of his audience members?
Yeah, he should have. If they wanted to promote the game, Comedy Central should have done like a big press, like a promotional week or something when the game was coming out. Honestly, EA, hire me. I need more money. Just hire me as your marketing guy. I'll do it myself. I just came up with that in 40 seconds. So I don't know. That game just from the get-go was not well done. And maybe it'll have legs in time when the Battle Royale comes out in the spring. Maybe not, because we'll talk about it, but EA's got another Battle Royale game, and it seems to be doing a lot better than Battlefield 5 on its own. So, I mean, we can maybe actually switch gears into that if you guys want, because I don't think there's any other. Well, there's one other thing I do kind of want to talk about, which is Halo has a little. I don't want to call it an amusement park. Some sort of attractions thing. that you can go to across the country this summer. I don't have all the locations in front of me, but I saw California, like Anaheim, I think, Chicago, Illinois, Orlando, Florida, and I think there was a couple others. I think there's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like a convention for Halo, and I thought to myself, like, first of all, how does that not exist yet? Because if a game like Warframe, who's like 1/50th of the size of like Halo fans, how is there not like a Halo convention? Maybe there is, I just don't know it.
Is there a Warframe convention?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, this sounds pretty cool.
It sounded cool when I heard about it. Then I kind of read about it. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how much tickets cost. I think you can actually order tickets right now, so I'll actually check on pricing on that. But it's basically, it's almost like a convention, almost like half convention, half like carnival, I guess is the way to put it.
You'll have like a VR experience, right?
VR, laser tag. And there's like places you can go to learn more about the Halo universe and lore and stuff. They have a like a theatrical experience, I think is what they called it, with a never before seen Halo ring. So that's cool.
I mean, the real question is, are they showing off Halo Infinite there?
6. Oh yeah, Infinite. I forgot that's what it's called.
Like, I think that would be the main draw, for at least for me, who's like a very casual Halo fan. But
this is after E3, I believe. So
okay.
That would be interesting if they use that as like, hey, you can come maybe play 10 minutes of the game or something like that.
Right.
That'd be a good way to push it. But yeah, so I mean that's interesting. I live in Iowa. I was kind of like, well, I could go to Illinois. I'd come to Florida. We could all go together.
Yeah,
man, we could play laser tag.
At first, when I saw the VR portion, I was like, that's really weird that Halo is advertising a VR segment when Xbox is like completely against anything VR related.
Yeah. I imagine it's not what do they have? They have it's not even VR. It's like augmented reality. What do they call it?
I don't know what it's called, but it actually, so the funny thing is, it is. Oh wait, the HoloLens.
That's what it is.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yes.
Dropped off the face of the earth like Google Glass.
It really did. Yes.
But they're calling it VR, so it's probably not that. But I remember when they were really pushing HoloLens a couple of years ago, they had a Halo thing with HoloLens at E3
you're right.
or something. So maybe it's that. I don't know. But oh god, I got an auto playing ad. Oh god. All right. So I don't know. Is that something you guys would ever go to, or are you guys kind of just like, I'll watch videos online or something?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big enough Halo fan to justify spending money on it. I mean, I guess depending on how much it is, but
yeah.
I mean, if it's like a $20 ticket thing, then maybe. Sure. But even then, like, yeah, I'm just not the hardcore fan that I think they're going after.
Definitely. I'd be interested in seeing the attendance at these kinds of things. I'm sure they won't release numbers or anything, but I'm sure there'll be videos.
I'm sure it's gonna be high, because I mean, Halo fans, A, there's a lot of them, and B, they're thirsty. So
it's true. I would be more inclined to go if they had like a Warthog you could drive. I'd be down for that.
Maybe in VR, man.
That's
the
not
best
as cool.
you can get.
Not as cool. I know they've built them. They exist. I've seen them.
Just boot up Forza Horizon 4. You're
the same, Mike. But yeah, so I guess we'll have to see if they do something with Halo Infinite. I may try to go because I would be interested in playing that.
Yeah, outside of that, I would have very, very little reason to attend.
And just a quick other thing that they also did at the Xbox show. One, they announced some Game Pass games. Biggest one being Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Did you guys play?
Oh,
that?
wow! Oh, I didn't actually. What else? What else is coming?
That was the only one of note. I didn't take note of the other ones. Matt, did you play Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
I did not.
Did you guys play the other two?
I played the first and then half of the second one.
Okay, so this probably isn't gonna be something you guys. Yeah,
Eh.
I didn't really care for the
Xbox
other
in
two.
general is like, alright.
Yeah, they've fallen off this generation.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Game Pass is probably
Yeah.
the one thing that I give them super credit for because it is an amazing program.
Yeah.
But yes, just specifically talking Xbox in general and their first party lineup was pretty disappointing this generation. The other game is Arkham, the first two Batman Arkham games.
Oh, like those remastered ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously Crackdown 3, which is
Crackdown 3 is coming out next week. So
yeah.
that'll be
So Game Pass subscribers get that for free, basically,
yes.
which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, I still can't believe that exists. And then the other news being that they rebranded Microsoft Game Studios to Xbox Game Studios.
Which makes way more sense in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really do PC games anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have like Age of Empires and stuff, but that doesn't come to Xbox. That's probably the only Microsoft developed PC game out there that I can think of exclusive to PC. It'll be probably a while before we know, but what's the studio that they just bought? Obsidian.
Mhm.
I think they're doing like some PC stuff with them, so it'll be interesting to see if it comes to Xbox. But I'm sure they'll have plenty to say at E3 this year. They're already talking it up. They say every year. It's the biggest one we've ever done.
I mean, to be fair, they have no competition this year.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo's doing their Nintendo Direct. Sony, like, I don't know what Sony's doing. Like,
Sony's not going.
So I don't like the direction Sony has been going lately.
I agree.
Like,
Do you mean from games? Like, you don't like the games they've been releasing?
No, I love their games, but just the
I was gonna say,
overall.
That's the best part, yeah.
I mean, their overall approach to like the entire. I don't know. I feel like they're letting their lead slip away. You know, they were dominating the market, and then like they got comfortable. It feels like.
Yeah, I think their last year's E3 kind of set the tone for them, which was, I mean, in my opinion at least, a complete disaster. It was a disaster to watch, and from some people who attended, it was apparently a disaster to attend as well. So
yeah,
bring back Andrew House. All right, that's all I need.
Andrew House was the best. Yeah, I remember that E3. I remember watching it. They started in a fake church. They rebuilt the church from that trailer that's shown in The Last of Us demo. And then they had the composer come out and play like the guitar, and someone shouted, "Play Freebird!" And then the lights dimmed. They showed the demo, and then they took everyone in that room and moved them to.
Yeah, so a completely like different
else.
set, yeah.
Yeah.
Which took like 15 minutes. It was ridiculous.
And meanwhile, everyone at home was seeing like the same Call of Duty Black Ops 4 advertisement. Play the new maps exclusively on PlayStation 4 30 days early. I'm like, oh, didn't know that. Wow, you guys are really making big moves over there at Sony.
And then they didn't hold the their annual PSX, the PlayStation experience.
Yeah.
This was the first year that they skipped that too. So they're I wonder like why they're doing this. Are they doing it to cut costs? Are they doing it because they don't have enough to show and they would rather save it for whenever their next gen console gets shown off? Like if that's the case, then I'm kind of okay with that, but like it just seems very weird because usually every year I'm pretty excited to see what they have to show, even though they tend to show off stuff super early, way before it should be shown. But I guess that's part of their charm in a way.
Yeah.
But that has completely been lost last year when they only showed like the 4 games and then no PSX and nothing.
And only one of those released last year, and that was Spider-Man.
Yeah, and none of the other ones even got release dates.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wait, no.
No.
Was the zombie game one of those too? The Days Gone?
They didn't show Days Gone last year.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
Yeah. That was really weird. So Days Gone comes out in April. They just released a trailer for that today. It's up on the site.
Another one?
Yeah. It's like they're doing one of those like series of videos.
Yeah.
Like, here's what you can do.
I kind of been watching them. Like, I don't know. I feel like this game just getting the shaft, man.
Yeah. I mean,
it would have gotten a bigger shaft had it released this month like it was supposed to.
Oh, yeah. That was coming out on the 22nd next to Anthem and a week after all the other games.
And Crackdown,
Yeah, so that would have really been bad. It's smart that they moved. I wish they moved it to like March, but they probably wanted to also give it some development time.
Yeah,
Uh,
Division is also in the in
it's
March,
true. And
so
Devil May Cry.
yep.
Um, so yeah, April's probably the smarter bet. That game looks cool. I've been kind of not watching too much of it because I like to go into those kinds of games surprised
Yeah.
um, when I can. So I'm excited for that game. I don't know much about it beyond there's lots of zombies and a motorcycle and what's his name from Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is playing the main character.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's not. I don't know why that's the most notable thing he's done to me. He's in other things, but but that game looks cool. But other than that, we have Death Stranding, The Last of Us Part Two, Ghosts of
Oh yeah, that's the three other
blah,
games.
blah, blah, whatever it's called.
Ghost of
And
Tsushima, yep.
yeah, I don't know how to say it. But
And
that's
none of those have release dates.
yeah, and many people don't even think those are coming this year. Hideo
Wow.
Kojima is pretty adamant that game, Death Stranding, is coming out before the 2020 Olympics. So that would probably put it at an early.
What a weird milestone to give
Yeah,
himself.
he was. I remember he said it'll release by between the release or the setting of the Akira anime, right? That's what that is.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the setting of that anime and
I actually don't know what year
2020
that takes
Olympics.
place in, but that's hilarious.
I think it's 2019, so
Okay,
that means coming
that's really
out
funny.
in the next, 8 months probably. Hard to say, but if I was a betting man, I would probably say that game comes out this year. Last of Us 2 is a total mystery because we have no idea where the game is at in development.
Yeah.
Ghosts of Tim and Ghost of Ninjas looks further along, but we also haven't seen much of it.
Yeah.
But the big question is, when are we going to see these games ever again before they come out? They just going to drop random trailers? Are they going to have a PlayStation conference just like they did with the PlayStation Pro? In
Like a side conference? Yeah, that's possible.
I'm leaning more towards that, maybe before or after E3. Probably after, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
If they're just not going to attend to E3. So I would say probably somewhere at the end of summer, we might hear something like they'll be throwing another event and we'll maybe get some updates on those games. I don't know. Like you said, they've had a really weird shift in the last year. And I do think that is because they just don't have much to show right now. PlayStation 5 is slated allegedly for like late 2020, maybe 2021. So
late 2020 for PlayStation 5?
That's
like
what
the reveal?
That's what the release.
I think release, right?
No.
You don't think so? I could see that happening.
Really?
Yeah, I know it seems like soon, but you'd have to. PlayStation 4 came out 2013.
I know. I don't understand. I don't remember the past cycles.
I think the PS3 and 360 were the longest cycles. That's why I think that's why we're thinking it's too early. But I think 7 years is about the right amount of time.
Am I the only one that feels like this generation in particular is just like is it just because I'm old now? Like my time is just going by quick. Like
no, I feel it.
There's so many games I still haven't played.
I can still remember the day I got the PS4, which makes me believe it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But it really was. I mean, 7 years is freaking long.
Like, I'm gonna die soon.
But not before you play the PS5.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I know, right?
So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think these three games are going to be the last big hitters for PS4 unless they have one other thing coming out that they haven't said anything on, and then they'll probably maybe not launch right out the gate, but soon after it releases have Horizon Zero Dawn 2, probably Spider-Man 2.
Okay, so hold on. Let's say they release the PS5 in 2020, all right? And they're already releasing, The Last of Us 2 and everything for PS4. What's going to be their big launch game? Like, is it going to be a total surprise? Like,
Well, maybe that's why they're holding off on saying anything, because
Yeah.
maybe because a lot of people do criticize them for announcing stuff too early, and that's a completely valid criticism. Like, I'll agree. Like, I like that, but I know a lot of people don't like it because years go by and you're still seeing the same game at E3 every single year.
Mhm.
So maybe they took that criticism to heart, and maybe they want the more surprise approach. Like, hey, this is what we've been working on, and by the way, it's gonna be out in like 3 months.
Mhm.
At least that's what I'm hoping is the case.
Yeah,
But as far as their big
weird.
games, I don't know. They could also release these games as cross-platform games.
That's what I imagine will happen.
Yeah.
There was rumors. They patented. I guess it's not a rumor if they actually did it, but they patented backward compatibility like stuff for
Yeah,
a future
Oh
console.
yeah.
Thank God, because come on, like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can't make that same mistake twice.
Exactly. So I mean, it'll be interesting. Do they do cross-platform, or do they just say, "Hey, that game you bought, 4 or 5 months ago, you can just put it in, and it'll work."
Right. Yeah.
So
And
I don't
Xbox
know.
already does the thing where it upreses old games. I'm sure they could probably do something similar.
Yeah, and obviously patents don't mean 100% this is going to happen because
Yeah.
I've seen some weird patents happen, and those don't ever see the light of day. But I would say that is one of the most likely things that could happen.
Yeah, I
Considering
agree.
that's the most demanded feature. I don't know. The PlayStation's in a weird spot right now. But that's a question. Is it weird, or is it just because we're on the outside and we just don't know?
It's only weird because it's very different than what we're used to.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm.
Them
that's
not
the way
being at E3, like that's weird.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super weird.
And it's bad. Like it's just bad optics. I don't know. Maybe it's not because Nintendo's doing just fine. What do I
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, but at least Nintendo has their Nintendo Direct that they do.
Yeah.
That's at least something.
Yeah.
The PlayStation outright said we're not going to do any sort of live thing, no pre-recorded coverage, nothing. So who knows?
Who knows? All right, should we talk about?
Yeah, let's shift it to the big old release this week that came out of nowhere.
So over the weekend, it started on Friday. Some YouTuber that apparently a lot of people just immediately tried to discredit.
Quartering, I think.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
A lot of people tried to immediately discredit him because apparently he's got some questionable beliefs. He had this leak sent to him by someone to his email, and he was like, yeah, someone sent this to me, and then I reached out to Respawn, and then they told me to email them, and I kept pressuring them into giving me information, and then they just didn't respond, and he got like kind of mad about it, and I'm like, I wonder why they didn't want to tell you about this game that they haven't announced. I don't know. He's like, if you guys don't want me to tell anything, I won't tell them anything. I'm like, this is a weird journalism thing that you're doing right now, but so apparently that actually turned out to be real. Surprise, surprise. And over the weekend, more and more details came out. It obviously is now known as Apex Legends. Came out yesterday, Monday. It is a Titanfall, quote unquote, Battle Royale game. It's more Titanfall in the sense that it's set in the Titanfall universe with
no Titans.
No Titans, no
Titan,
wall running. But I did some little Googling to find out what the title meant. Apex is apparently referring to the Apex Predators faction in the Titanfall universe, which is Titanfall 2 in the campaign and the multiplayer. And they're kind of like killers for hire mercenaries. So that's why they don't have Titans and stuff.
Right. And apparently this, to even further the lore, this apparently takes place 17 years after the events of Titanfall 2.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I just played the game because it's Battle Royale.
Have you played the other Titanfall games?
I have. I played the second one. I think I played the first, but I don't remember. I think I remember judging the first. I don't know. I think, oh, this is stupid. This will never work. And then I actually enjoyed Titanfall too.
Yeah, I remember liking the first one more than the second one. Don't ask me why, because I don't know why. But I think it was a lot. It felt more simpler, so I just liked it more. I don't know.
I mean, I
But
really enjoyed the campaign
yeah,
in the second
campaign
one.
was
Like, I
cool.
thought that was awesome.
A lot of interesting ideas.
Honestly, I don't miss the Titans. That was my least favorite part about Titanfall, and that's because I sucked with them, and I'm okay with that. Good
Um,
riddance.
so yeah, I mean the game mode starts. You can have a maximum of three. Well, it's not even a maximum. You're pretty much always partnered with three people. There's no solo. There's no duos. It is you get three people, whether they're your friends or not. It's you and two other
Yeah,
people.
you have to match up with
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
and I mean people can leave, but you're always going to be with three people at the very very start. And then you pick a hero character, kind of like what Call of Duty does now with Black Ops 4 with their hero characters, or maybe more relevant, Overwatch. Um, and then those have special abilities, and then you all jump out of a ship of some kind, and the host, I guess, it's randomly selected, but there's like a party leader kind of thing. They
Yeah,
guide
the
you.
Jump Master.
Jump Master. They guide you to a specific location. You can split off from them if you want to, but they guide you together to a specific location that they choose. And then all hell breaks loose. And it's 60 players. So what's everyone's thoughts on this?
Well, before we get into like the actual gameplay, I just want to real quick talk about like how they unveiled it, like what
It's interesting.
and how it actually all worked. Oddly enough, because like they literally only invited influencers over to check out the game over the weekend. No press, only influencers. And at first glance, that's gonna seem shady because influencers. I mean, it has it in the name. Like they're supposed to be influencing the brand. So obviously you're thinking, oh, it's just gonna be positive coverage, blah blah blah. So when I first saw that, and I was like, I'm just not sure if that's gonna pay off for them, especially since there's also no beta. Like literally, it was announced and then it was out, and to me that just, I don't know, it had a lot of red flags. And so I haven't actually played it for real. I only played the first training mission, so I can't speak for the actual game itself, like you guys can. But from what I've been hearing, it's like an extremely polished product. Like,
yeah, it's pretty good in terms of how well it feels. There is some
and even
jank,
feature
but
wise, like lots of stuff to unlock. The characters are all very diverse, right?
yeah. So you have almost all of the heroes unlocked. I think there's 10. Matt, do you know?
Yeah.
There's 8, I
Yeah,
believe.
eight.
but then
Two of them are locked.
Correct. And I think you have to pay for them either
So
through
you
in-game
can
currency or
yeah, you can pay like either it's like 12,000. I don't know what they're called, but whatever the in-game currency is, 12,000 of that, and you get them. I think you get like 400 every level or something, and the levels are going pretty quick.
Yeah.
At least early on.
From what I've seen, I think it's like $10 per character if you wanted to unlock them outright.
Right away.
Yeah.
They offered to send me like a starter pack or something, and then I never heard back from them when I said sure. So I was kind of like, okay, thanks. I got really excited.
Did you play do you play Battle Royale games normally?
I was huge on PUBG for a very, very long time. I don't like Fortnite. I think Fortnite is not good. But
So you're bad at Fortnite, is what you mean to say?
Oh.
Bad.
No, I get it, yeah.
I don't like the way that game handles in comparison to something like PUBG. I think it's just preference. I don't think it's like a bad game maybe, but I will say Fortnite is doing some really cool stuff just beyond the Battle Royale stuff, just with that concert they did with Marshmello.
My first EDM concert.
Did you quote unquote attend?
I did. And I freaking loved it.
And then I saw you can do like they announced this at the Game Awards. They have like level creators now. Someone tweeted out something really cool over the weekend where they basically built like a course. It's not like obstacles or anything. You could just run, and so long as you hit every beat, it made like a song. And
yes, it was
really
the
cool.
It was the Undertale. I
That's
think
what
the
it was.
Sand Song.
Why is this
Yes,
so catchy? Yeah,
that was
really
insanely
cool.
cool. Yes.
So people like Fortnite's doing some cool stuff, and what I love about Battle Royale is it started up. Everyone was down on it after PUBG because I mean PUBG was like beloved at first, right? And then Fortnite came. People were like, oh no, here we go. Everyone's gonna try to rip off this, and it's gonna be super uninnovative.
Which,
And
to be
then
fair, that did happen.
it did happen, yeah. I mean, but PUBG was the hardcore, like tactical battle royale game. Fortnite came along, was a little more friendly, casual, I would say, and maybe more appealing to families and children. And then Call of Duty came in and was like, watch this shit. And then they put their own really cool take on it with having zombies in it and various Call of Duty maps and really cool stuff. And now Titanfall's like, all right, well, we're gonna try something. And while I don't think it does anything beyond the hero stuff, which
I
is
sorry.
kind of like, yeah, sorry, hang on.
All right.
I need to process my thoughts. Yeah, you just go. You go.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, I think the revive system, the revive mechanics, like, yeah.
Yeah, so the revive system is you go down on your knees when you get shot, and you're able to be revived. And then if you die, there's a window of time where you can pick up the player's banner, which is their banner. I don't think there's any other way to put it.
I think that is what it's called, their banner.
Yeah. And you take it, and then you can hold on to it. And then if you come across like a respawn station, you can call them back into battle. So it gives players a reason to stay after they have died.
Yes,
which
is genius.
Great. Because I always hate when my friends, like, I'm the last one alive. They're like, all right, we'll see you later. I'm like, wait, I don't want to be
What if you
alone.
win?
Yeah, exactly.
They
I want
win
you to
too.
see. And so it's like there's an opportunity for you to come back if you stay with your friends and stuff, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, there's other smart stuff the game's doing that other battle royale games aren't doing, like the ping system as well.
Yeah, like, so if you hold down RB or R1, you bring up this little wheel, and it has commands. So it has ping, which basically puts a little dot on everyone's screen in your team that says there's something of interest over here. Now, there are specific commands for enemies, weapons, other pickups and stuff.
Yeah, like that you're looting a location as well.
Yeah. So like and there's even like more in-depth stuff like someone was here. Like this place is looted and stuff like that, or we're close to somebody. So it can both be used as a way to quickly communicate to your teammates. Maybe like I know when I'm playing battle royale games, sometimes I get in a panic and my words won't come out. So if I just tap RB like really fast, like I'll be like, "Hey, come," and so that.
And in general, it's a smart way to incentivize player communication, even if people don't want to talk through a mic.
Exactly. So
yeah, like I hate doing.
Yeah.
So it basically I wouldn't say it's particularly innovative maybe, but like it builds upon layers that people have already laid the foundation for, and it does smart things with the formula. Maybe nothing super groundbreaking, but it refines what has been done already, and I like that.
And it's polished. It feels good. It doesn't feel like EA was like, oh, we got to pump this out real quick because we're about to tank our stock our stock.
I was feeling a little annoyed earlier because I was trying to climb up walls, not like in Titanfall, but like just trying to climb up scalable walls, and I realized the reason it wasn't working was because I was pressing the jump button multiple times. If you just press it once, your character like automatically scales up the wall. And I was getting super frustrated. I'm like, this is so like not smooth like Titanfall is. And then I'm like, I'm just an idiot.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like even in some instances, like if you don't hit it perfectly, like it still does kind of like mess up.
Yeah. So like there's a little bit of jank here and there, but like ultimately I think it feels pretty good, especially the sliding. Now, Call of Duty has sliding and has had sliding for many years now. And it's usually in Call of Duty, you hold down B, and no matter how sloped the surface is or not, you slide for a few seconds, and then you get back up. This goes where you will slide for as long as
There's
you
a
are
slope.
on a slope. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I like that because it keeps you from having that weird moment of you're sliding and cool stuff is happening, and then, oh, nope, you're done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah, I like
slides as
that.
long as you have momentum.
I like how the training mission, like that's like literally the first thing it teaches you how when it like lets
Yeah.
you walk out of that building. It's just like slide
awesome.
down this hill and you just go all the way down and you realize, wow, this is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I like that because I feel like a lot of games mess up something as simple as sliding. Like, there is a slide here, basically. Let me go down this slide. You know, like, why is it weird like this? And they Respawn's like, well, let's just do what would happen in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Let's just give it
literally
momentum,
just keep
yeah.
falling because gravity.
Right.
And I haven't had anything cool happen with it yet, but I'm sure that is a recipe for awesome moments where you're sliding and someone's on the side of you and you're going,
Right.
you know, cool action moments.
I can't speak for any of the characters because again, I have not played the actual game outside of training. But do you guys have like a specific character you guys like to play as, or?
I do. I like Wraith, who has the ability to make portals and kind of enter like another, I guess, alternate dimension, you know, and kind of like stealth around people, except you can't see other players either, which is kind of a cool balance mechanic.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I like the healer chick. I forget her name. I don't know her name. And then the big fat tank dude, whatever his name is. I don't know anything. I don't know any of their names. They're just the thing about the characters or in their abilities is when you hear that you think like, oh man, this is gonna be so overpowered, and it really doesn't feel like that.
Yeah,
I think it adds
bonus.
Yeah, it adds just enough twist. I mean, don't get me wrong, like a well-timed like ability can definitely change the outcome of a battle or like, you know, like a fight between you and another team. But it doesn't seem like it's like a cheap like Destiny, for instance. I mean, and this isn't a very fair comparison at all, but
no, yeah, I get what you're
like
saying.
Destiny, when you have your abilities, it's like, all right, I'm gonna destroy like this entire team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it doesn't create this snowball effect.
No, it's like a subtle implementation that helps you, but it definitely won't. It's not an automatic win over another team. Like,
do the skills? What's the like recharge time on those? Is it like meant to be spammy or not really?
Yeah,
it's slow.
It varies.
Oh, it varies. Okay.
So there are different like kind of tiers. They don't really outright label them as this, but you can actually see it in achievements. I didn't realize this because they don't say it in the game, but there's like support, recon, and stuff like that. So each character can have like more offensive abilities or defensive abilities, or I play as this character. I think his name's Pathfinder. He's a robot, and he's like the one that you see at the start of every Titanfall match where he like guides you out of the ship and says, go, go, go.
He's a zipline guy, right?
He's a zipline. I mean, I just kind of like him because he's funny, but his abilities, so he has like a grappling hook. That's his LB ability, and that has a shorter recharge time. And it doesn't have a very long distance, which is just kind of frustrating. But the zip line itself has a pretty long reach, and you can use it to pretty much get out of very hairy situations. If you're on top of a rooftop or something and all of your teammate needs to get the fuck out of there, you can shoot it far away and you won't slide away. And I also kind of use it as a bit of a trap sometimes if me and my team want to like hunker down at a specific like town or something. I'll set up a zip line somewhere where I think is where they might be coming from, and then I'll leave it there, and then I'll watch it. And then if someone goes across, I'm like, all right, there's guys here. Because
can you put them anywhere? Can those be placed anywhere? Like
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it can attach to another surface, I think they can, and you can actually go up them too. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be like a slope downward. So say you're trying to move upwards on the map, you can actually put it upwards, and then your guy will climb upwards. And it's the same like zip line motion too, so it's not like you're like slowly climbing up. It's like I don't think there's like a specific like in-universe explanation, but it just kind of feels like they have something that's pulling them across the rope.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, well, can I just real quick touch on something you said? You said you like playing as Pathfinder because he's funny.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, like, you know, they say, for instance, Lawbreakers, like that was Cliffy B's game that failed. And a lot of people criticize that game because of its like lack of personality, because like every character was like dark and brooding, and like and just the color palette was dark, and I think like when you said that, like that specifically speaks to that, like even having slight characterization in for a character in a game that has no story, that's literally just a multiplayer PvP game, it adds like another layer of charm to that game, which helps you attach yourself more to it. Because again, like you're literally just picking a class, but the fact that you also think he's funny makes that character more endearing. So I think that's like kind of like a not an important aspect of games that they need, but it's certainly something that maybe some studios overlook because they want to be dark and gritty, like Cliffy B used to want to be. So I just want to point out that like I definitely think that some personality, even in a game that has no story per se, is definitely important.
Yeah, I agree. Also, this game is doing incredibly well, and that might just be because it's free. But yesterday, day of launch, within 8 hours, it had 1 million unique players that had signed on. As of today, that number, I believe, doubled, and the
it was at 2.5 million.
2.5 million, yeah. And the concurrence was like 600,000 plus. I think it was maybe even over 650,000. So it's doing very well, and you know that might be because it's free, but also, you know, that also speaks to maybe Titanfall will have more life, because Titanfall 2
true.
was, while critically acclaimed and everyone who played it loved it, did not sell
hang
well.
on.
Because
Vince, did you see Vince's tweet today?
Yeah, he says they're not working on Titanfall 3 because someone else said that. They're like, we're not doing Titanfall 3. But they are working on more Titanfall stuff, whatever that means.
Did he specifically say stuff, or like his tweet doesn't say that? Who, like the other developer said there is no Titanfall 3, but then he says more Titanfall. So what does that mean? Like just stuff for Titanfall 2?
Probably not. I don't think they've updated that game with content.
So there's got to be a 3 in the works, right?
Well, the rumor from Kotaku was over the weekend when they started talking about this, Apex Legends, was that Titanfall 3 was in development at some point, and then maybe they pivoted towards this for whatever reason, and then whatever happens now is kind of a mystery. But I don't want to say it's Titanfall 3 because I feel like that might be setting.
I mean, the fact that he said Titanfall at all in that tweet, I think,
definitely
is big news, because I think a lot of people were definitely disappointed that this was not a Titanfall game, and also the fact that this took the place of a Titanfall game, basically. So there's some cause for celebration, I think. I mean, granted, we don't know what it is, but
I wonder. They've kind of got their hands tied right now with stuff. If they were doing this and Star Wars, I wonder if they have given creative license to another EA studio. Maybe I was gonna say Visceral. Never mind.
Nope, definitely not them.
I was gonna say they did Battlefield Hardline, right? Oh wait, hang on. So not Visceral. Maybe. Who else could do it? There's not a lot of EA studios left. I don't know. Somebody. So maybe they were like, "Hey, you guys, you want to make like a Battlefield campaign or not Battlefield, a Titanfall campaign, something like a short experience or something. Maybe it's a mobile game. Maybe it's a Switch game. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it won't be something super big, but I feel like it'll be something that gets Titanfall fans very happy
Yeah.
and maybe satisfies their craving for now, while Apex Legends does big numbers, gets some more money flowing, shows that there's interest in this franchise, and then
Definitely.
maybe they can catapult that into Titanfall 3 when they wrap up Star Wars.
Yeah, it seems very plausible.
We'll see.
Matt is skeptical.
I don't trust anything with EA. EA. I don't know. I mean, this
No,
game's fun.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I gotta. Can we just focus on Anthem? Like, what the hell?
That was shocking, right? Like that they would choose to put this out a week
Right?
before
Like,
Anthem's initial launch.
yeah. Can we get that game out first? Like, and suddenly, did Titanfall 2 even sell well? Like, suddenly, all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh man, we need a Titanfall 3." Like, bitches, you guys didn't even play the second one.
Yeah, did you guys even play the game? I mean, granted, it didn't sell well initially, right? But it has gone to like $5 for its like deluxe edition, like pretty much like
Consistently,
every other. Yeah, I would say.
Y-
So it's
Maybe
got
people didn't realize it was like a good game. Like,
maybe
Well, also
Yeah.
remember, it got cannibalized by
yeah.
Battlefield 1.
and Call of Duty and
yeah.
that was 2016. I'm trying to think of what else came out that year. Stuff, but
So maybe the problem is EA's release schedule because it just seems all over the place.
Yeah,
Right.
it definitely is.
I think they need to maybe take some chances on that summer, window. There's
Yeah.
no shooters that ever come out in the summer. Occasionally you'll get like a beta for like something like Call of Duty or Destiny, but they
Yeah.
need to be like, we have a total space where we can play in, and we're not, capitalizing on it.
I never understood that. Like, I mean, obviously there's maybe archaic reasons, but like, why not release games all year long? Like, you're starting to see it with movies. Like,
Yeah.
there's no dead time for movies anymore. Like, you have Marvel, or in the early part of the year, you have Star Wars in the end. I don't know. It's just weird. The
No,
whole release
definitely.
schedule like baffles me.
I wonder. Usually, like when summer games happen, like Batman, Arkham Knight came out in the summer. That did really well. Last of Us came out in the summer. That did really well. Uncharted 4 came out in the summer. Doom. The games that choose to, they do well. And
Yeah.
especially if you were to release an online shooter, because most of those games, they're single player games. If you released an online shooter, all the kids are out of school.
Exactly.
They want something to play, and Call of Duty is another 6 months away. You drop a shooter in that time period, it's gonna do bangers.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're smart, maybe Titanfall 3 hits June, July of 2025. I don't know. It's probably way too far away. It'll probably be a next gen game if that happens.
Yeah.
I think I heard the reason Titanfall 3 was mostly evolved into this was because they wanted to get it out soon because they're using a version of the Source engine, Valve's engine, that is aging. And they said, well, if we don't get it out soon, it won't look...
It's going to look dated.
Yeah, it's going to look dated. So they wanted to get something out soon. So they did this, and then Titanfall 3 kind of fell to the wayside. So it's entirely possible that Titanfall 3 will happen on next gen with I don't know why they haven't gone Frostbite, because that's what every EA game uses now.
Right, yeah. That is weird.
I completely totally forgot to mention this. Plants vs. Zombies and Need for Speed are getting new games this year.
Oh, was that on the earnings call too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know how big those games are going to be, if it's going to be another flop of a Need for Speed game. I don't know how that series is still cranking out new titles, because nobody liked Payback, from my understanding.
Nope.
You reviewed that, didn't you?
I did, and I hated it.
Okay. What did you give that? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it was not a great score.
Okay. I remember playing like the EA Access trial. I'm like, holy shit, this is bad.
Yeah.
So.
I heard. Speaking of that, EA also mentioned something about EA Access coming to another platform.
You think it's going to be PS4?
No, I think it's going to be Nintendo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
What can they do with that? What EA games would you be able to even play
FIFA
on?
right now.
That seems horrible.
Wait, hold on. Let's find out.
I'm sure
Because that's a service I'd actually probably be interested in, because again, I'm all about like that Game Pass style subscription service. So and it's like cheap. It's like $5 a month, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a good deal. I mean, there's FIFA and Faye and who knows.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they'll add some more games to pattern out that lineup.
I would love to see it come
Peggle.
to PlayStation, because that's another.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation's been the one that's been kind of rejecting it, so it would be up to them, right?
Well, maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah, because maybe they loosened up on their crossplay stance, but again, there was more of a push on that one from everyone else, so who knows? But be interesting to see. I don't know. EA's got a interesting catalog of games that I'd like to see them put on the Switch. Like I said, Peggle. We haven't seen a Peggle game for a long time.
Love
Peggle would be
Peggle.
perfect on Switch.
It would.
Maybe a Plants vs. Zombie game on there. It doesn't have to be Garden Warfare or anything, but like Plants vs. Zombies 3, like a return to that series.
Like the old school tower defense.
Yeah, I like those games. I don't know, other stuff.
There's potential. Yeah, I mean the library. Now that you mentioned the lack of games, I could much more see it work on PlayStation more than Switch. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's we'll see.
We will see.
Maybe the PS5.
Maybe, yeah, that might be it. I don't know. Any other thoughts on Apex Legends or EA?
I mean, Apex Legends at this point, there's nothing stopping anyone from getting in and trying it out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's on Xbox
Except
One,
unless you have bandwidth cap.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have those where you are, Cade. Do you guys even have? I'm surprised you guys have internet out there.
In Iowa? Yeah, we have just cornfields and cornfields and cornfields. No, everyone thinks that when I say I'm from Iowa, and they're like, you farm corn? I'm like, no, there's like one cornfield around me.
I mean, I'm looking at a screenshot of Avoca, Iowa, and
I don't even know where that is.
Oh, I don't either, but it's on Wikipedia.
Well, Wikipedia knows everything.
And then think, okay, well, this is probably going to tell me. You guys have tornadoes and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, what does that have to do with the internet?
The majority of these pictures are small towns and cornfields, so I don't think that's a wrong.
It's not a wrong assumption. Every now and then I just started to drive in like November, so I've been going out on some late night rendezvous, and every once in a while it takes me elsewhere out of my area, and then I'm like, oh wait, maybe Iowa is kind of the stereotype people say it is, because I've just kind of stayed in my area, and it's like a normal town, it's not small town, it's not everyone knows everybody like you would think, it's not like, hey neighbor, there's not tractors everywhere.
So it's not like Footloose?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not like Field of Dreams or anything.
I mean, that's a great movie.
I love that movie. I've been to Field of Dreams. It's really cool.
Oh.
It's a real place that you can go to. I promise you there's no ghosts. But they do have baseball players come out of the cornfield and play baseball. It's really interesting. I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Yeah, Iowa's totally normal.
I mean, it's not like A-Rod comes out. It's like people in costumes playing baseball.
That's not making it any better, man.
It's cool, okay? Iowa's a good place.
I don't know. The things Iowa's poor water quality goes south. What is going on over there?
Michigan here. No, I don't know.
Maybe it is from there.
But it was like negative 40 degrees last week, and then it was
that's ridiculous.
Like 45 degrees like a few days later. So our weather is
all over the place.
Really all over the place. Yeah,
very close to Minnesota. Huh. I didn't know where Iowa was until tonight, so that's cool.
Okay, great. Little geography lesson.
I knew it was somewhere in the Midwest.
On the GameZone podcast. Well, Iowa trivia for you guys tonight. Guess anyone was wondering how we're doing.
So we were originally gonna do Kingdom Hearts talk, but we've already gone on for quite a while. So let's actually save that for next time, because I probably will have beaten the game by then, and maybe you will too, Cade. I don't know how far you are.
Yeah, I need to get my review done by the end of the week as well.
Yeah. So maybe it's gonna be better if we both just finish it and then talk about the whole thing.
Sure.
And Matt's gonna sit that out because he's in the process of playing every Kingdom Hearts game in existence, and then playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right now, I'm watching 358/2.
What does that mean?
What? How are you playing Kingdom Hearts right now?
Oh, okay. So you don't know, but Cade is going completely blind into the series.
Yeah.
Oh my, Cade, what are you doing?
I asked people on Twitter, hey, would you guys want me to review this game? Like, I've never played any other Kingdom Hearts game before, and everyone was like, yeah. And I'm like, I can do that.
You don't even know who Naminé is.
I don't know who Xenoheart is, or...
do you know who Diz is?
Who?
Ansem?
Who?
Oh no.
Mike dropped a bombshell on me last week before we started the podcast. Master Yin said is Disney backwards.
That's like the latest in the game.
I got, well, I don't want to say, I'll stop myself from saying too much, but I got to the Frozen level tonight, and I have no idea what's going on in that game.
Oh
but
my
I'm like,
god,
it's cute.
Have you seen Frozen?
Oh, well, yeah, I've seen the Disney movie.
I mean, you're living it out in Iowa right now, and they get 40.
Let me tell you, we don't get these movie houses that you guys have down there. The old Nickelodeon, we don't have that.
Man.
I've seen all the Disney movies and stuff, but yeah, when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts stuff, I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know how anyone keeps track of this. I would love to do an interview with I don't know how to say his name, Tetsuya Nomura. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to do an interview with him and just be like, all right, man, you've been making these games for 20 years or so. How do you remember all this crazy
I don't
stuff?
think he does.
I don't think he does.
I think he's just making it up as he goes.
Probably, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because every now and then something happens in the game where like it's clear that it happened to only Sora, and Donald and Goofy weren't there, and Goofy and Donald will say to each other, "Were we there for that?" and I'm like, well, thank you. They are great guides for people who haven't actually played these games, because they just drop exposition like it's their job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you got to have those subtitles enabled, otherwise you are not understanding a word Donald Duck says.
To be fair, though, I have played these games now. I've played Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay. I beat all three of them, and I'm still so freaking confused, man. Like, there's things that have been revealed to me that in Kingdom Hearts 1 that, like, as I'm playing now, I'm like, I don't remember when that happened. Like, it's just so complicated.
There's a cutscene from like the old Kingdom Hearts games in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's clear because like they do not have the same graphics, and it kind of makes me laugh and stuff. Game's weird, but I kind of like it.
I just want to play with Elsa. Like, that's it.
That happens.
Yeah,
she's there.
You do meet her.
She's there.
I mean, I'm actually more excited for the Tangled world, but
I love so good. That's probably my favorite one in the game. So
good. All right. That's it. That's enough of that spoiler.
But yeah, I mean, I would also like to eventually revisit the Kingdom Hearts topic once you do actually play it, Matt. Although Lord knows when that's going to be, since you're going through all the games. But yeah, I definitely would like to talk about the entire experience. Once we both beat it.
Yeah, buddy.
I keep telling some people like who have played the series like. I'm reviewing it as if I've never played any other games. I say as if I haven't. But and they're like, "Oh, well, this." I'm like, "Shut up! I don't want to know."
Yeah.
It's really tempting to go watch those recaps or whatever they have in the actual game itself.
That's
but
what
I said, no.
Oh, those they're kind of vague, honestly. They're only 2 minutes long, like each of them, God. And yeah, they're honestly you'd probably be more confused watching those
Okay.
if you're completely new. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's super vague.
Yeah, I was worried that I'm going to catch myself up after I finish the game so that I can be like, well, does this actually make any sense if you're not a newcomer? So I will go back and catch myself up, but
Yeah.
I want to be able to be like a Kingdom Hearts virgin.
Nice.
So,
Alrighty.
is there anything else we want to touch on? Anything?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Go play some
Alright.
Apex Legends.
Go play Apex Legends, Xbox One, PS4, PC, free. I think they have some like starter packs or something you can get if you want all the characters and skins and stuff like that. I'll probably have impressions of Anthem up on the site later this week. I'll probably have a review of Kingdom Hearts 3 up on the site later this week. I'm gonna probably do an Anthem Legends, Apex Legends review at some point. Also, I talked to this was for another website. I did it as a favor for someone. I did a interview with Joe Carahan. He is the director of the canceled Uncharted, or he wasn't the director, writer of the canceled Uncharted movie. And I spoke to
interesting.
Wait,
him.
canceled Uncharted movie? I thought they're making an Uncharted
Well, they are
movie.
making
This
an
was
Uncharted
this is
movie.
one
This was
before
like
that.
a canceled version.
Yeah. Okay.
Or at least like a draft of the script that he wrote that probably won't be used because it was more mature version, and they're probably not going to do it now. He said they might borrow elements from it, but I have some interesting details about who they were looking at for Nathan Drake in terms of casting, why the movie actually might not have gotten made because of that. And I remember on Twitter, he teased like he had this crazy opening set piece that he had written for it, and I got him to talk about it. So I'm going to break that out on GameZone. I got permission from the people I did this interview
Very cool.
for to do that. So look out for that soon. I don't know when. I need to transcribe it and stuff. So it'll be there probably this week. I'm hoping this week.
Awesome.
Nice.
You can follow me on Twitter at Cade_Onder, CADE_ONDER. Mike.
I'm at Michael Splechta, MICHAEL, SPLECHTA, and Matt.
I am at Matt is for real, and then there's a little bit of underscore after it.
A little bit of underscore. Is that how one underscore?
One underscore.
One underscore.
Yeah.
But
Apparently there's another Matt.
So you're
who's
not
for
the real one.
I know. Apparently there's another one. I'm
We
the
got
imposter.
a phony.
Are you the heartless version?
I can't even. Oh, I'm the nobody.
Oh man.
I don't know what any of that means.
Everything. This is why I can't get a Gmail either.
You can't get a Gmail?
No, my name is taken.
Not by you?
Not by me.
Oh, that's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Don't have that problem because nobody has the name Cade Onder. I remember someone wrote on one of the comments for our articles, this guy's name sounds like a Star Wars character.
I mean, it really does.
Kind of does. No one pointed it out to me until now. But so that is episode 4 of the GameZone podcast. We'll be back next week talking Kingdom Hearts 3 and hopefully other gaming news.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us.
Yay.